welcome to the God is a Geek podcast. My name's Adam Cook. I'm your host with the most, and my guest with the... Nah, I got nothing. Chris White, how are you, mate? All right?
I'm all right, mate. Yeah, good. Very good.
I did have something, but it would have been... It wouldn't have made sense and it would have been rude, so I didn't go with it, Chris.
No,
I mean,
your trying to rhyme didn't really work last week either, so...
It didn't. Actually, I disagree. I think it worked brilliantly. I listened back to that podcast and thought, my God, that host's amazing. I wish I was as good as him. Oh, I am him. You've just heard Adam Carroll. How are you? All right, mate?
I'm a lot better than I'm not trying to fucking rap.
Well,
that much.
It was going to be my guest. It doesn't work, basically. What runs with guest? My guest
best?
with the...
My guest with the best.
Chest, hest, behest.
Chest was where I was
guess.
going. Chest was where I was going, but it didn't work. It wouldn't work. It doesn't make any sense. Everyone's got a chest. That makes you seem unimportant because you're just another person with a chest. And you're not unimportant, Chris.
Do you think?
You're vital. I think so, yeah. Well, no, hang on. Do I think he's important, or do I think...
Cheers, mate.
What are you asking?
I was actually going off the topic of saying, do you think we could actually do an entire podcast with rhyming?
No.
Chris,
Yes,
don't be so
Mate.
like, come on, man.
All right. We'll try it.
No,
one will buy it.
not this week. Not this week. Because I have to edit it, and that would mean going through and basically cutting so much. It would be a 2-minute. Well, do you know what? We could do a 2-minute podcast. Just do an introduction, say hello, and then go. And
I
then that would be
understand.
Technically,
You only have two
Technically,
hands.
Chris, please stop.
All right, I'll stop.
Video games!
Yeah, games are happening. I suppose we should start with a game that got 10 out of 10 on godisageek.com, shouldn't we, really?
We sure should.
Gears of War 5 is not the name of this game. That game doesn't exist. Gears 5 is available now, kind of, if you're a Game Pass Ultimate subscriber, which I was wondering if there's anyone who has an Xbox who didn't take advantage of that like £2 upgrade where you get Game Pass for a year, you know?
Oh,
Like-
splendid. Yeah.
So I would imagine everyone has access to Gears 5, which means people are playing it. I still think it's probably my favourite... Well, no, it's not probably. It is so far my favourite game of 2019.
Brilliant.
As a Gears fan, as a Gears of War fan, this new game in the series, Gears 5, this new, IP, Gears 5, no, it's just called Gears. It's really weird, right? Because they removed Of War, and this game's basically about war.
I don't like the Gears thing.
I'm not keen. Like, when the review was published and I look at it, it's just Gears 5 review. I look at it and it's like, that looks wrong.
It looks weird. Yeah.
Apparently, Rod Ferguson tried to get that for Gears 4. He tried to... The thing is, everyone does just call it Gears.
Yeah, but
So...
I like Gears of War. It just looks good on the box.
Well, it's a good job we're not reviewing the name.
No,
Otherwise,
because it would be
fail.
low score.
I'm reviewing
Gears-
the box anyway,
Gears
and I
5.
give it that.
I mean, I'm not going to talk too much about the multiplayer now, aside to say that Horde mode, they've kind of put... It's not like full Overwatch or anything, but the characters have got ultimates, like hero abilities now.
Right.
Like, Cat can go invisible and sort of cloak, and I think it's... Faz can... I think it's him that's got, like, X-ray vision, so he can see through walls and shoot people. So they have added to it. There's the escape mode, which is like see how quickly you can escape from, like, a locust hive. But the campaign is what I want to talk about carefully. I won't spoil anything. Because I'm surprised this isn't getting more heat. Because for me, and I said it in the review, this campaign is to Gears what God of War was to that series last year.
Okay.
Like, it is incredible. Like it's interesting the way they start it. The first act is very much, this is more Gears. But then Act 2, they give you like a map and there's like a vehicle you can drive around on and explore and do side quests.
Oh, cool.
And that is like brand new for Gears. And on top of the stuff where you can like upgrade, you can upgrade Jack, your robot, to have abilities. It makes the combat, like people have said, like, oh yeah, the combat is Gears. And it is. But it's more than that, because yes, you're still a cover shooter. Yes, the guns still feel great, but you've now got Jack with his abilities that you can shock people. So if someone's in cover, you can send Jack over and he shocks them and they're out of cover. And when you upgrade that all the way, he shocks and freezes them so you can just blow them up because they're frozen, you know?
Awesome.
he can cloak you. Eventually, no, I won't say that because it's a slight spoiler. There's stuff he can do. He can get, you can send Jack to pick up weapons for you. Like if you kill a Scion that drops, I don't know, just like any of the heavy weapons, that you can. That slow you down when you walk around with them. The ones I mean, like the Mulcher or something. Yeah. You can send Jack. You can upgrade him so he can go and pick up weapons. You can upgrade him so he can pick up heavy weapons and bring them to you. You can upgrade him so that he remains cloaked when carrying a heavy weapon. So it's not. It is Gears, but I think that's doing it a disservice.
Yeah,
like being able to use Jack. And and it's 3-player co-op, so someone can actually play as Jack and go and do that stuff. That's cool as well.
That is cool. So this map. So
yeah,
the obviously the other games you kind of followed one linear path. Is the map like that? I'm not bothered about the size, but is it a lot of different places you can kind of go and explore? And the side missions, are they as kind of limited as God of War? Like they just give you that little bit extra to do?
Yeah, that's kind of it. But what I will say is the side missions are kind of obviously this is like God of War. This game is what it is. You're not suddenly going to be climbing. Gears 5 doesn't turn into Uncharted where you're climbing up a wall. In a side mission, you are going somewhere that will usually end up in shooting. But it's the little stories they tell in the side missions that I was under huge time constraints to get the Gears review done. Now, I'm the only one who put those constraints on me. Nobody here, I'm the editor-in-chief, so nobody was saying, you've got to get it done. And I wanted to get it done, and I wanted to finish the game. And obviously I did. Actually, that's a spoiler. I finished it twice, sort of, kind of. But the side things, I did everything. I did every side mission in the game when playing it. That I didn't get every collectible. I got a lot of them, but I got every upgrade, every ultimate upgrade for Jack. I did every side mission. Now, anyone who's reviewed a game, and I know this is not talking to the audience, but I'm just saying this because like Chris, for example, you've reviewed millions of games. You'll be able to back me up on this. If you are reviewing a game under a time constraint, self-imposed or editorially imposed. The first thing that you have to lose is side quests. You do enough of them to make sure you can speak of them, but you don't do everything. I was just not willing to do that. For me, it was a case of, look, it's not my fault Microsoft sent this code late. I'm not ruining my enjoyment of this game. That's how much I was enjoying it. Act 2 is in like the ice map, and you go around on your skiff, and I didn't even mention some of this stuff in the review, but like the ice. So when you get off the skiff and you go into a mission that's like ice-based, you can shoot some. If they're stood on a lake, you can shoot the ice out, and it kills the locusts because they're stood on a frozen lake. And there's actually a boss battle that kind of revolves around that. You have to do that. I'm not going to say any more than that, but like there's one set piece where like the locusts are just literally swarming you, like are coming at you over and over again. And so in Gears 4 they introduced the bastions, I think they're called, that can shield enemies, and they get shield in front of themselves.
Yes.
So in this, the one voice line they overuse a bit is someone saying like Scion there, and then they'll always go and a bastion, and it's like, yeah, I got it. That's the one line that bothered me because they just repeatedly say and a bastion, and that means the bastion is he's got a shield on the Scion, so you got to take the bastion out first. But like later on, one of Jack's abilities is, I forget the exact name for it, but basically you can use him to take over control of like Scions. So of bastions. So you can tell, rather than kill the bastion to get rid of the shield, Jack can assume control of the bastion. So you've now got the shield, and the Scions open for fire. And like when these are all coming at you on this huge ice lake, rather than do any of that, I was like, I could just shoot the ice out beneath him, and like it's an instant kill. One shotgun blast or one, it's like, or throw a grenade, and it's like they do a lot with that. I think again, it's being underplayed how much of an evolution this is. Like Act 3, the open world is more in a desert, so you can't shoot sand. Well, you can. It's not much point. So the storms are back, but there are ice storms as well in levels, and I won't say this. I won't harp on about this. I think this is, for me, and I'm going to have to this is an early feeling. This is probably one of my games of the generation. Like what they do in terms of evolving Gears. Now, don't get me wrong. If you don't like Gears of War, you're not going to suddenly like it. But I love Gears of War. I think it's a brilliant series, and this is, I think, the best one. I mean, you're never gonna, yeah.
Like with obviously, like you love Gears. Okay, cool. One of your favorite games of the generation. Okay,
yeah.
What really is it? Is it just the right time with this Gears game for you? I was one of those who
So I remember talking about Gears of War 4, sort of not preview, but previous to release, saying they shouldn't have brought Marcus back, right? If you're going to do this, if you're going to say, right, this is a new story in the Gears universe, then you move away from Marcus. Move away from him entirely. Of course, they brought him back in 4, and he's in 5. He's cleverly used in 5, and this is no longer, they're there, the Phoenix Boys, but it's not their story anymore. It's Kat's story.
Okay.
Kate's story, so I don't want to call it Kat. Kate's story. The story's really good. But then I've always enjoyed the Gears story. Like it's always been a bit bros and stuff. But like, I mean, what do you guys think?
I love it.
Oh Jesus,
I adore
2 is one of the best.
Yeah, I mean,
glad to hear you say that.
2 and 4 I played pretty much in one sitting, so
right.
They engrossed me that much that I adore them. So. Like what you're saying, I probably will be coming out of it the same, and the whole the whole game of a generation. I don't think that's too bold a thing to say because, like you say about God of War, like we both came out of that feeling similar.
Oh yeah,
you just have a feeling
it's the game of the generation.
No,
I'm saying it's one of my this game, and I don't think anyone would expect this. And I can't go into any more detail. Well, I can, but I won't go into detail about why. Because I don't want to spoil it, but there is a moment in this game that I think is the hardest and loudest I've laughed at a game ever, and it was it's so well done, man. It's so well done. Some of this game and like the you give me an emotion. This game got me in all of them throughout the story. It never feels like it sags, and the beauty of the open world stuff is, I suppose, semi-open world is that if you just want to do the story missions, do them. And you can play it like an old Gears game, but this game's got like stealth in it, but not like you think. There are certain enemies you can stealth kill. They introduce a new weapon that I didn't squeal, but I went, oh my god, because it was called something. Well, it's called G Lancer, right? The G Lancer. It's a new version. Like they added the Retro Lancer for. What did they add that? Was that 3? Judgment? They added the.
Oh yeah, Judgment. Yeah, it was Judgment. Yeah.
Which is the one without the chainsaw that you just charge. It's got a bayonet on the end. But this the G Lancer is like, when I saw the name, I thought, oh wait, what is that? Oh, and it was like even the Hammer of Dawn. They've made this so like it takes quite a while to wind up before it finally fires. Like in this, it's quicker. It just.
See, that's
everything about this is smarter, man. Everything about this game feels like they went, okay, well, Gears 4, we did a Gears game. Now let's do Gears 5, but let's do our game. And it's just so much better for it.
I think one of the things that like always strikes the right chord for me when it comes to Gears is that like I still have to play 4 and I still have to play 5, obviously. Mm-hmm. They're the only 2 in the series, but like I would hold, as I said, 2 as one of my favorite games of all time.
Yep.
But I think the reason Gears always connected with me was because of just I think it carries a great story anyway.
I do too.
I do love the story and the whole bro thing and everything. Yeah, you're right. But regarding, which I'll get on to know in a second, the shooting, which just always feels unreal. I thought the whole bro story with the shooting made it feel like I was playing like Starship Troopers or something, which is like one of my favorite movies of all time. But one of the things that you said in the review, which was really interesting, was how the Lancer this time round feels like the power weapon.
It's difficult because I've played so much Gears, like all of them. I've played. I think every one of them I've finished at least 3 times. Maybe Judgment not 3 times, but the rest of them. The problem is at this point, although it's Gears 5, it's the 6th Gears of War game. So I kind of have my loadout down. I like the Boltok pistol because that's like a superpower. That's a Magnum, essentially, really. It's like Resident Evil's Magnum. When you first get that Magnum and it's like you just one-shot everything. The Boltok can do that comfortably if you get at the right range. I like a Lancer. and on right on my D-pad. I don't like it in the left. I like it on the right, and I like a torque bow or a long shot in the left. Okay, and I like just normal grenades. I don't mind, the incendiary, but generally I like the normal grenades. So it's difficult, but what they've done is remarkably clever because the new Lancer became my go-to weapon, but they never give me enough ammo. It does separate like Retro Lancer, Lancer, and G Lancer. There are 3 weapons each one. You can carry about 2 of them at a time. There are other new weapons. One's a melee weapon, which is so cool to use. But they've also put in what they call Relic Weapons. So I only found one of them, and apparently there's a Relic Weapon for all the weapons, like the historical ones. The Relic Long Shot. Okay, so with the long shot, I don't know if you guys remember this. It's a sniper rifle, so you look down your sights, you hit fire, then you have to reload. You have to hit the active reload, and if you do miss that, you are really in trouble because it's a one-shot weapon. The Relic one-shot, right? If you hit the active reload, you get 2 shots. Oh, so you can stay zoomed, go bang, come out, move, bang, hit the active reload, get another 2 shots. I kept that weapon literally, I had that weapon for most of the game until I hit a cutscene where I literally lost all my weapons, so I couldn't. But the skiff as well, the vehicle, you can actually store 2 weapons on it. So say you can't decide. I had a torque bow stored on there the whole time because I was with the Relic long shot, and then I was like, I actually ran out of ammo and couldn't find any long shot ammo, so I just put it back on my thing, kept it, and then got the torque bow out. I had I forget the name of it in Gears 4. Chris, you played it more recently than me, but the the heavy weapons that fire missiles that the Bastions drop usually when you kill them.
Oh, I can't remember the names. But I know what you mean. Yeah.
I had one of them on there most of the game. But like there are the encounters, like the first encounter you find, if anyone's played it, like when they're listening in the train tracks where there's a side quest, and it's almost like a boss encounter, really. It's not, but it feels like one. The thing I've not mentioned, by the way, is the soundtrack, the audio, and the visuals of this game they rival anything. They rival. I mean, everyone always goes on about Sony first party, myself included. The visuals in Gears 5, I think by the end of the game, they're the best I've ever seen. They are. Now, you'll need an Xbox One X or you'll need a 4K TV with HDR to see the best of them, because when I played it for the capture, it still looks very good. But when I went back then over to my sort of main TV and played it on there, it is unbelievable looking. But I would also say the soundtrack is good. The soundtrack's on Spotify. So are we, by the way. God is a Geek podcast is on Spotify if you want to listen there. The soundtrack's really good, and it's one of those things where when I finished it, I sat there and thought, I've played the campaign, I've played some Horde, I've played all this, I've played some multiplayer. What am I going to give this? And then I sat there and thought, I can't fault this game. Like, I can't fault this game. I think I ended up with 2 negatives in the did I, or 1? And literally the only one I could really think about, for me personally, and I'm sure others will find things that are negative, but the thing I found about it is that occasionally in the sort of semi-open world stuff, sometimes the soundtrack would be really, really gorgeous, and suddenly it would sort of cut out and then restart, as if you'd gone across an invisible barrier that triggered something.
And that sounds like a really minor.
Yeah, it sounds like something they could patch very, very easily.
Yeah.
I love it, man. Like, I finished it and then I threw it on easy and went through it again. Like, I can't really say why I did that, but if you read between the lines,
that's just what it is, man.
No. I mean, there was a specific reason I wanted to see the ending again. I'm trying not to say anything, but at the same time allude to something. There's 1 or 2 games left I think could top it for me this year. But I'm just laying this in the sand right now. I think Gears 5 is... And do you know what? I don't know if I want to get into this. I'm going to say it. If this wasn't an Xbox game, I feel like we'd be hearing more about this. I'm so tired of hearing shit like, yeah, but it's just another Gears. Sorry, Gears 5. Sorry, is 5 like the magic number then? Is Uncharted 4 not okay? Because then they technically released... what was the Chloe story?
Lost Legacy.
Lost Legacy, which is not Uncharted 5, but it's a 5th game. Is it only PlayStation that are allowed to do that? And I'm not disparaging PlayStation, by the way, because I've loved those games, and I love The Last of Us and Naughty Dog generally. And most first-party games from Sony I adore. The only one I haven't liked is The the motorbike game that I've forgotten the name of.
Days
Gone, yeah.
Days Gone. But I just don't understand why, like Forza Horizon 3, for example. No, 4. Is it 4? What's the most recent one?
4.
4 is probably my most favourite racing game ever made. Gears 5 is just incredible. I don't feel like I'm seeing the love for these games that they... Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know why.
But man,
what's going on
just,
there, man?
but like, let's be honest, like, we just kind of live in this world now, not to get into that topic as such, but like on a different... In a different kind of situation, for example, just to quickly say, like It Chapter 2 is after coming out, like reviews or this and that, but at the same time, it's a bit too harsh. I saw it like last night.
Yeah, I saw someone's review that said the most scary thing about this movie is that you're not sure if it's ever going to end, and I wasn't sure if that was a positive or negative in the connotations of the review.
Yeah, like
but,
I think we're just at a stage where people we're so fucking spoiled with so many things now, and it acts like Gears is just it just gets this kind of thing. I don't know where it came from. I don't know, because realistically, no, as I said, haven't played 4, but Judgment was the only one that I would have said was kind of a bit of a slight downplay.
It just wasn't as
good
as the others, and most of that was down to the fact they tried to change the control system.
Yeah, but it was still good.
I still enjoyed it.
Great time. Man, we're just in that world where people like to give out about these things and not just kind of enjoy it. And
I'm just going to say this, and let's move on. But I'm just going to say this: Gears 5 is one of my favourite games this year. It's currently my favourite game this year. If you don't like Xbox, fine, but you don't need to be in my mentions or in God is a Geek's mentions telling us we shouldn't like it or whatever. Like you don't have to like it. That's absolutely fine.
Yeah,
but games are games. It shouldn't matter what platform
exactly.
they're on. Do you know what? Don't play it on Xbox. Play it on PC. Fine. It's a PC game then.
The thing about this is like, if I had to meet somebody with the conversation of Xbox or PlayStation,
I'm ending that conversation and ending that relationship. I think.
But if I'm brutal, I could not talk. I have to stop you right there. I just can't deal with that. Is the most bullshit conversation, and I cannot waste my time on it. Like, if Gears came to PlayStation, like, it should be a celebration, and that's that, And
you know what? That's the really hideous thing. It would be.
Yeah, and Gears is one of those things
that I want. Celebrated as, so Xbox has failed, but at least I can play it.
Fuck that.
Let's move on. Let's just move on, because this is a shit thing to talk about. Because before I finish what I've been playing, I played a bit of PES. The new PES, but can't talk about that yet. But come back next week and we'll talk about that. Chris and I. I've also played a game I'm going to take a stab at pronouncing. That someone will probably... We don't do corrections on this podcast, but probably I'll get corrected. But Nintendo Switch exclusive Daemon X Machina. I didn't play any of the demos of this.
I didn't either.
No.
Because I heard it wasn't great, but I have started playing I've had it over a week at this time of recording, so by the time you hear this, it'll be nearly 2 weeks I've been playing it. I haven't had much time to play it because I'm not playing it for review. Mick Fraser's reviewing it, but in a preview sense, I will say I kind of like this.
Now, do you enjoy? Not that I could actually only mention probably one, but do you like mech games? I can only think of Armored Core, but
have no feelings about mech games.
Okay.
But
so, like, this does not appeal to me. For some reason, this is the first Nintendo game of quite some time now where I'm just like, I think I might pass on that. Because I'm just not feeling the look of it.
I would suggest you play the demo. Because I thought this game was... Because Nintendo seems to be doing anime at the moment. Fire Emblem. Then Astral Chain, and now Daemon X Machina. They seem to be doing like anime tough stuff. Again, in a preview sense, genuinely, I have not played anywhere near enough of it anyway. So it really is like preview impressions. Do you know Anthem? Remember Anthem? That came out this year.
Jeez, I actually kind of slightly had to think there for a split second.
That came out this year, lads.
Oh, fuck.
This is so far kind of Anthem, but good because it's anime And like, I think I'm secretly an anime fan. I mean, I watch Dragon Ball Z and stuff, so I suppose, and I always loved Akira. But I mean, that's kind of like populist anime, isn't it? There's probably anime kind of, experts going, oh, for goodness sake, everybody watched Akira and Dragon Ball's the lowest of the low. But I kind of think I'm an anime fan without knowing it. Yeah, this is like, this is what I've played so far is very Anthem like. You run around this hub and there's story involved, which I'm not going to get into, and you're like a mercenary in a mech that you go and do these missions, and then you come back to the hub and you get weapons that you can add to your mech, and you can have a shield in one arm and a cannon in the other, or an auto cannon in the left arm, or you can get like a homing missile on your shoulder that you press. So you've got left and right trigger to shoot either left or right weapon, but the left bumper is it's like your shoulder mounted weapons, and you can do cosmetic stuff, and you can get new armor and equipment, new arms, new all this stuff. It's like, how did they manage to out Anthem like? But again, I'm very early in, read the full review when it's up. I forget when it's up, but this is genuinely previous stuff. But yeah, kind of impressed. Okay. Wasn't expecting to like it at all. Like, didn't even play the demo. That's how much I wasn't fussed. But
watch now, it'll come out to fucking tens, and I'll be there day one buying the fucking thing.
I mean, I don't know. I really don't know, because I haven't played enough what I would even give it. But in a preview sense, I'm enjoying it so far. Adam, you've been playing Man of Medan.
Oh, I got
which I haven't got back to yet still. So.
Oh, really? Okay,
no,
Chris, have you played this?
I have played some of this, yes.
How much, Chris?
Not loads.
Okay.
But well, no, it's not my time to talk. You talk, Adam, and
okay, so I kind of have a bit of a funny story surrounding this, okay? So, Dark Pictures Anthology, Man of Medan, Until Dawn, all this jazz, right? Brilliant. Let's go. I'm excited for what this is apparently going to be. I'm all for this whole anthology to be coming out and just, these little bursts, these little stories. It sounds ambitious and it sounds kind of up my street. So, Man of Medan, I love Until Dawn. I'm up for this. So, I've played this from start to finish co-op, and I played it
which one of the co-ops?
So I played it like as if I was in a different house, but I actually was in I was in a room upstairs and my friend was downstairs.
So you played it where you control one character?
Yes.
Okay, so you don't see the story the other person's getting.
So this is the thing. When it started, I didn't know that I was going to be playing all the characters, as it went through, which is something I need to kind of explain now, actually, is that I thought that we could pick one of the 5 protagonists. I think
you definitely can in one of the modes. You definitely can. I've seen video of that.
Okay, so the mode that we did was just standard Don't Play Alone, I think was the title of it.
Is it where you pass a controller?
No, that's movie night.
Right,
because I read that. This is Don't Play Alone. Yeah. This is just setting up a fucking room and inviting a friend or whoever to come along, and off we go. Cool beans. I'm upstairs in a different room, PlayStation TV, my friend is downstairs. We're going through this without communicating. And, okay, so first off, the game is incredibly frustrating to control. I'd have to say that. I think Until Dawn felt that way anyway, but Man of Medan, with the setting that it is, and you're on this fucking linear boat and tight corridors and the way the camera moves around, when you're together with your friend and you're both walking side by side, it becomes a fucking comedy. Because, do you know when you walk into...
Yes, yeah, I get it, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Do you know when you walk into... I
totally get it, yeah.
Yeah, so you're there in this spooky ass fucking ship, and you're like, ooh, anything can happen right now. And then you walk into a room together, and the camera changes, and all of a sudden you're walking back into the room you just came out of, and you're like, oh, god damn it. And you have this hilarious moment of just awkwardness. So that is just a thing that I felt I didn't really remember feeling that way with Until Dawn, because I just thought that was maybe just a little bit bigger, which it was longer anyway, because this only took us over 3 hours. I think we did it in 3 sessions.
Yeah, I've heard it's about that.
Yeah, it's around there. Now, I'll say it straight off, I would definitely play this again to see the outcome, right?
Right.
But here's the situation: is that the characters are really bland unless you fucking design them yourself. I think that's how it just felt. I know now that's like obviously because you have your choices and whatever, but like from the word go, none of these characters seem like. You got, who's the brothers? Alex and... Alex and...
Oh, you're asking me to remember a game I played 2 weeks ago. Chris, can you help him?
Nope. No, sorry, mate.
Alex and Brad are the two brothers, okay?
Are you making
just
that
made that up?
or is it...
No, that's legit. So Alex...
Okay.
It's
you
Alex...
You Googled it.
Of course, I have it right here in front of me. Let's find the goddamn thing. I don't... So it's Alex, Brad, Julia, Conrad, and then... Fliss is your
Fliss
boat.
I remember because that isn't a name, but it is apparently a name.
Okay, so straight off the bat, Alex and Brad's relationship, Alex is like, yo man, like just be cool, alright? Like, you know, Julia's here, you know, and her brother Conrad is here, and like, you know, they got money, and we need to like be really cool, so play this, like, and you're like, oh, alright, okay, cool, whatever. So instantly, I'm just not feeling that side of it,
right?
But Conrad comes along, for example, and Conrad is like the real snarly kind of like, hey, what's up? Like, you know, want a beer? Because you get a choice, like, to have a beer or not, you know? And you're kind of there, like, and this is, the situation that I had was, Brad, who is the kind of like, the brother who's being told to play it cool the whole time and just stop being like a bit of a nerd or whatever.
A drip, yeah, don't be a drip.
Yeah.
Have some fun, man. Have
some fun. So he ends up getting a situation with Conrad, and I'm actually currently playing as Brad, and Conrad's like, yo bro, do you want a beer? And you're just like, well, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I had the beer.
I'll have a beer, I guess. Alright. And you're like, okay, alright, okay, here we go. But with the choices then that I had to play out with Brad, or with Conrad, for example, there was a moment where Conrad and Fliss get talking quite a bit. And you can actually direct Conrad to be a kind of a very sincere dude, right?
Yeah.
And, like, as we all know, Until Dawn and stuff, people die, okay? And that's just that, right? It can play anyway.
That's the game.
Yeah, so I don't think spoilers here for me who died is going to really affect anyone, right? Mm-hmm. But I got attached to Conrad because I was guiding him the most for some reason.
I mean, I think he's supposed to be. I mean, he's the one on the front of all the art.
Exactly. So I'm there, right? And I'm fucking like, yeah, Conrad's been built up as a really genuine guy because Fliss keeps going, can you ever once stop hitting on me? And I'm like, I'm fucking not. Like, I'm picking the right choices here.
Really?
I'm playing it out really cool, like. And then whatever my friend was up to downstairs, it was just, it sounded like carnage because I could hear his surround sound and stuff, so I could just hear like chaos going off. And I was like, what the fuck is he up to? And then we get in a situation and Conrad just dies. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck? I'm like, you killed Conrad. And these were the moments then that Man of Medan started playing out to be exciting.
Right.
But that doesn't seem to last a whole pile because the game starts to get really just like messy in throwing you from character to character because as you're playing, in the mode I was doing anyway, each new scene it would say like my friend's name is playing as Alex and I'm like, oh fuck, right, so he's as Alex and I'm now this person. But you can't really get emotionally attached to any of the characters in such a short play. Do you know? It's impossible. Like, you've made all these choices with Conrad, say, for example, and all of a sudden then Conrad is being played by my friend or just being played as an NPC, and I'm fucking freaking out because I'm just like, oh, don't do anything stupid now or pick anything stupid for him. But I suppose that's the kind of part of the game. Then, like, you get to the ship, and if I'm honest, there's kind of nothing that really goes down in that ship as such. Like,
I've not got to the ship yet. That's how early I am.
So I won't say nothing at all, no. But like,
I don't mind.
It's kind of unusual.
I mean, the listeners might. I should say that actually.
Yeah.
I'm just getting to spoil the game. I forgot there's listeners. Yeah, sorry.
I don't think the story pays off that well at all. I think like because you have bits and bobs to pick up, like little files that will tell you about the fucking situation that has happened beforehand, and you're like, all right, cool. But what happens here then is when you get those moments of exploration, If I'm there and I'm like, right, I've picked up fucking everything, I'm off, I'm going taking off down this route. If my friend who's currently still playing is not after picking up everything, all of a sudden, if I'm after going ahead, they'll just drag him straight up to where I am.
Right.
Which kind of sucks for him then, because he has missed out on probably a piece of information that could tell him about the story. And that's where it just doesn't seem to gel well, because that sucks. Because like it's kind of, well, I fucking done. And then when you're not communicating with each other, it's like, well, sorry. I asked him, I goes, listen, because he's a bit of a, like the guy, for my friend, he likes to really look in every corner, whereas I'll just see the shit that's shining, pick it up and go, cool, I'm out of here. And I was like, are you constantly being dragged along when I'm ahead? And he's like, yeah. He goes, they keep just throwing me straight to the next cutscene. And I was like, oh, that's a bit shit. And I was like, I feel bad though, because I'm just like,
you've ruined his game.
In ways, yeah, there's that.
No, you've ruined his game.
All right, like.
Just saying. He wouldn't. He was probably too polite, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I suppose I did, but fuck it.
It's done now. There's nothing you can do about it.
It's done now. The game is done.
Finished it. He didn't see much. He didn't see any near what he wanted to see of it, but it's done.
Yeah. So anyway, this goes on, and then like the story wasn't all that. But then the funniest part of this whole playthrough happened, which was I went over to his house and it was like our third playthrough. We were like, all right, tonight we'll definitely end up finishing. We're definitely close to the end, okay? So I was like, cool. So we sat there, had a bit of a chat for a while, and we actually watched the Nintendo Direct, and then we went up. We knew Nintendo Direct was happening, so we were like, let's get it in Medan before this starts. So I go upstairs, I fucking set up, sign in, get comfy or whatever, right? No fucking joke, guys. As soon as we clicked in, booted up, whatever, we just got the last cutscene and the game was over. There was no gameplay at all. Like, we just sat there and watched the cutscene in 2 different rooms, and we just came down. We were just like, for fuck's sake, we did all that and all. We were literally we should have just finished it on the second fucking night. So we just and then we had to, like, then we were just talking about it, kind of going, like, is that it? Is that it? Like, is that what they're going for? But with Supermassive Games, I think they were testing the waters. No pun intended here. But I think they were testing the waters with something like this in its theme. Because they kind of left out the goofiness of Until Dawn. They left, like...
Gotcha.
Do you know, I think with this anthology, they were kind of going, let's try this first. If people are down for it, then fuck it, cool. That will open up the door a bit further for us for this whole anthology. Because if you've ever seen the trailer for the new one that they're going to do, it's fucking pure Until Dawn.
I have somehow missed that, like, entirely. Like, I saw someone meant, like, because we obviously reviewed it quite highly, so I saw people sort of tweeting, us about it, and they were like, "Oh, when's this coming?" And I'm looking at it again, when's what coming? I didn't even know the name of it, man.
So if you finish Medan, you'll get everything. You get.
Okay. Do they tease it at the end?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
You get the title, you get a date, off you go. Okay. But you get the trailer, and no joke, guys, I'll say nothing at all. And it is nothing to do with Medan, but it's actually we're playing Medan to see this, because you're just like, oh my god, this literally is Until Dawn 2.
Okay, that's good.
And that's the shit I think we want, and I think that's what they were doing. So I can't really say Man of Medan is it's not atrocious. It's not at all.
No.
Like, I have fun with these kind of games. I do think there's a lot of work within it. Like, it looks good for the most part, and I think, like, some of the facial animations when you're picking a decision is very funny. They just look ridiculous.
Right.
But overall, we had fun, and there was stuff to talk. Like, we had moments where, like, oh, did you do that? Fucking hell, you! God damn it! Why did you choose that? And that's what it's all about, I guess. Yeah. And the last thing I will just quickly say is Jason Graves did the score for this. He is the composer for the likes of Dead Space and stuff. This score is unbelievable. If I'm honest, it unfortunately doesn't shine through in the game, because I don't know why it doesn't. I just think you're just so caught up in listening to everything else and your choices and where you're walking that you're not really taking in the audio as much. But it's on Spotify. It's only a 40-minute like soundtrack. It's not like one of those 3-hour ones. So really cool. And you know what? For the fucking price, it's worth it. It's worth supporting, because I want, and I want them to continue. I don't want them to just stop because sales weren't great for it. So if you're on the fence about it, just buy it anyway, because you'll have some sort of enjoyment out of the fucking thing.
Fair enough. Chris, Yeah, anything to add to that, or do you want to talk about what you've been playing?
No, I mean, I've literally played like the first 40 minutes of it, so I haven't really got an input. But I've been playing, so I won't talk about this much, but I've been playing...
No, mate, listen, it's a big game. You can talk about it as much as you want.
Well, I was actually going for Ninja Saviors first. I want to talk about NBA as much as I want.
I Jess, you talk about whatever you want, mate.
No. So I reviewed a game called Ninja Saviors: Return of the Warriors on the Switch. So I didn't really play the others because I'd never heard of them until this game came out. But they're based on some old games that came out of the SNES called the Ninja Warriors, and the basically this game is a remaster of the game that came out on the SNES back in the 90s called the Ninja Warriors Again, which was a sequel to the one originally on the NES. So anyway, this is basically, it looks like a SNES game. The music is of that era. However, it's one of the best looking 16-bit games out there. The music's lovely, and the combat is so kind of like it's for saying when you play a game on the SNES, there's like a punch and a kick and a jump, maybe some other special kind of power up. But the kind of the way each button works in tandem with the other, like you can punch, but then you can hold the left analog down and you do like a sliding punch, or you press up and you can do like loads of different aerial moves, and they kind of work with combos. So it almost feels like a Street Fighter game in some instances. But it's not like, I mean, there's even like a Ken lookalike who pops up every now and again, and someone who looks like Blanca. Whether it's influenced by it or whatnot, I don't know. But there's certainly the control schemes are kind of influenced a little bit by it. And it's not just a side-scrolling beat-em up like Streets of Rage or whatnot. It's just a really kind of cool, short game that I think it's about 17 quid on the eShop. And if you're a fan of like those old school side-scrollers, then it's certainly worth giving it a go.
Gotcha.
So yeah, give it a go.
Okay.
But NBA 2K20. So
Yeah.
I am loving it so far, and I just want to say the main thing I go to first off is always the career, because I think it's the biggest kind of new feature. And for saying the last 4 careers have been underwhelming is very accurate for me. I've never particularly liked them. Right. I think the way they like, especially with the neighborhood. Now that's the feature that everyone goes to, is where you can obviously go around this neighborhood where there are shops, there are different kind of games to play, mini games. There's the outdoor courts where you can go and play against other people. That's kind of where people are at, and it always seems like they're just filler to get to this point. And for last year, definitely, it was kind of a case of playing an hour and a half of the story, and then you get to go and play in the neighborhood. Whereas this time around, the story mode, it must I don't know this for definite, but it felt like around 4 hours before you even get to the neighborhood. Like I've literally just got there, so the story that's got there, so like got to that point, like it's a really well put together story, and there's no pointless characters that are there for the humor or like just to kind of alleviate the drama of it all. It's very much a drama, and like it's not your typical like he doesn't get injured and he gets knocked back a few years and then you have to build up and get into the draft and then you get drafted by some top team. Like the story, because I don't want to say what the story is, but the kind of process for you getting from where you start to getting into the NBA draft is done very well. And there's like for anyone that knows about basketball and knows about the process of getting into the NBA, one of the things that you have to go to is the combine, the NBA combine, which is basically where you go and perform for a variety of different events, and the scouts watch you and they get an idea of what you kind of have to offer, so that when it comes to the draft, you're either going to be in the first round of the draft or the second round of the draft, and what position you kind of get. So everything you do in the combine is vastly important. So if you perform poorly, you'll lower your ranking in your stock, which means you're not going to get picked up and likely play for the bigger teams, or you won't, when you finally get to a team, they're not going to be using you as much as if you're in the second round, because you're not on their radar, like you're not their first choice basically. So the draft combine, you've got some shooting drills that you have to go through. You've got things like weights, you've got like a vertical jump test, you've got like a sprint, you've got all these kind of things, and then you play in a few matches, which is quite stressful because you do get placed in a certain position, and you really do kind of have to, like, it kind of incorporates how the NBA 2K games have come along, where you are, because it's like be a pro in FIFA, where you're just controlling one person. So you are playing, you're not playing as a whole team, you're playing as a sole person. However, you're trying to get this team to work with you. So you have to build your chemistry with the team. You have to be a playmaker. It's not all about shooting all the time. Like, points are important, but if you're not getting the rebounds and assists in, then your grading will go down. So there's a lot to it. And when you, just before you get into the draft, you go and you choose 3 teams to go and trial for and play with, and it's kind of important who you go with. So, and again, I don't want to ruin that, but there's moments in this which will appeal to basketball fans because of the cameos. Like, normally when there's a basketball player cameo, is pretty poor. However, they've introduced it into the story really well, and it's like quite heartfelt sometimes. And there's, in the trailer, LeBron James is, he's an executive producer, so he's got quite a big role, and like it's just done really well, and it's the best career mode since Longshot for me, and I think they kind of got it now, and I'd like to see them kind of go through this.
Loads of celebrities in it, like it's not. I've forgotten the name of the guy who plays Luther. Idris Elba, is he not in it as well? So, I saw it for a screenshot. I was like, that looks like Idris Elba. Like, is it not littered with that?
As a playable character?
No, he's like in the story. In FIFA, but like in FIFA, how they have like some of the footballers who are like big names, like they have Ronaldo in it. Like that happens in this game, but they've also got like just celebrities, right?
Yeah. So there's 3 actors that I know of that are in it, and obviously there's more actors, but known actors. So
what are we talking then? Idris Elba.
Wow, Idris Elba, who plays the coach of your college team. But obviously you'll see him later in some way.
Oh, so he's in it a lot then?
Presumably. He's in it. Yes. He is. And he's great because he's a phenomenal actor. Like, he's one of the best around, and the fact that he's in it automatically made me think, right, I reckon they're going down a different route with this. But then there's Rosario Dawson, who's been in quite a bit, and she plays your kind of manager at the start before things kind of escalate, and she's in it a bit, and you've got a good relationship with her. And then the only other actor that I know of by name was Ernie Hudson, who's in Ghostbusters.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it's ace. And then, like, I've not spent loads of time in my GM mode or Ultimate Team yet, which I will. But like the game itself, like actually playing it, just they constantly find ways to improve it, and the kind of the big things are off the ball kind of movement. So, I mean, when you've got the ball and you're in possession, you either, you're shooting, you're dribbling, you're trying to find a play. But when you're off the ball, you need to be able to get into a decent position. You need to kind of trick the offense, trick the defense when you're trying to get into space. So there's a lot more control there. When you're trying to mark your, the opposition, and you've got a specific play you need to mark, then it makes sure you've got a lot of ways to do that, and just that just is noticeable right from the start. The way they've kind of improved that, and there's a load more improvements with the shooting. Like, the shooting's a lot more precise. There's a lot more options for that. Like, it's better kind of with your jump shot now. You've got more options there, and with the players and the way NBA players, specific ones, play, it follows their styles very well, and it's very authentic in that. So if you know a lot about those players, and they will play to exactly how you're used to watching them. So it's just very well made at the minute, and I'm enjoying it. I think like from what I've seen about the microtransactions, they're still an issue, but I haven't played enough to see how that will affect me in the neighborhood. But yeah, it looks pretty cool so far, and the story mode is certainly one of the better ones I've seen in sports games. I feel like there's the long shot story mode kind of set a benchmark in how they can be done well with incorporating playing the sport and telling a story. And this has done done it for me. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
Before we get into listening to correspondence, I forgot. I'll talk about this more in the coming weeks, but I've been playing some Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville, and that game seems really good. The last Plants vs. Zombies game was really good, and Battle for Neighborville is also really good. But it's gone down the Overwatch route. It's pretty much Overwatch for Plants vs. Zombies, which I'm all for. But let's get into some listener correspondence. Darren at ROTMM asks 2 questions. The first of which, if you could be Jesus for the day, it's an auspicious opening, and if you could perform one of his many miracles, which would you choose? For example, something creepily impressive, such as raising the dead, or more, look at how cool I am, featuring walking on water. Adam Carroll, what would you do if you were Jesus for the day?
Like, I'm just going to end up putting a fucking downer on this question, no, because if I'm going to be honest, we'd all pick the exact same fucking answer.
Wine into water. Sorry, water into wine.
No, it's nothing.
Okay, that's what I'd go for, because I'd then start a vineyard, but I wouldn't need a vineyard, I'd just sell my wine.
But if I'm supposed to if I'm Jesus for a day and I got a chance to just like make a miracle, do you know, everything that's going on right now. Wait, like...
No, it's got to be one of his mini miracles. Well...
that would be a fucking damn miracle if he came down and...
You're Jesus. You can do what you want.
Yeah.
And how many miracles do you know? Like that he did? The water into wine and walking on water.
Well, he's mentioned 2 of the 3 I know, yeah. The third being water into wine.
So we'll do whatever we want.
Okay, well, if I'm going to pick out walking on water seems pretty impressive, I'd like to just bust that out in front of a couple of friends at the beach.
I mean, I'll be honest, if I could be Jesus for a day, I'd leg it.
He's just walking on the water. I'm fucking Jesus.
I know what I'd do.
I'd leg it, because I'm going to be stuck on a cross, and if any of that's real, obviously, I don't know.
Well, maybe you could be like you'd be Jesus, but no one would know you were Jesus, so you could perform miracles.
Pointless.
Well, no, because for me, I would turn like vegetables into like. I would make like fatty fit like burgers and pizza healthy, and I would fuck off vegetables.
That would be
so you're just saying this is like 2019 Jesus, who's now a magician essentially, yeah. He's basically
it's a miracle.
It's Jesus if he was Darren Brown.
It would cure the word of obesity, like it'd save lives.
Imagine
and it'd be fun doing it.
Pringles are healthy for you.
But
the Pringles sandwiches.
But that's not a miracle.
It's a miracle.
It's scientifically impossible. You're asking.
Yeah, but I'm Jesus. I can do what I want.
What's your problem here?
I defy science.
Yeah, like Jesus and all other magicians, you're actually an illusionist because you're making people think that Pringles are healthy. And in 20 years' time, when everyone is fat and dead, like that kid that was in the papers recently or on the news about it, terrible story. I don't know why I've used this when I was trying to tell a joke, but I'm in now, so I'm going to keep going, plough forward and hope that somehow when I come out the other end, there's some sunlight. There was a kid that basically died because he only ate chips and sweets. And you're essentially doing that by being an illusionist.
He's saying it'd be healthy for you.
I'm messing with science.
Chris, look, forget it. You make everyone else happy. We can eat all the Pringles and pizza that we want. Adam, you can just stick to your fucking carrot and water. See ya, mate.
If anyone's eating Pringles,
with that attitude, you can have it.
Fine. Well, and speaking of Jesus, Darren says, this is him speaking, not me, Sony. I've asked this before, but it's not been covered on the pod. All right, Darren, calm down. Sorry, I've missed it. I'm sorry. This is a simple one. I don't want any opinion. I just want a number, okay? And we'll go Chris, Adam, then me, which is also Adam. That doesn't work. We'll go me, Chris, Adam Carroll, then me, Adam Cook. Predict the final metal. They got him down. But let's just say the final Metacritic score, his words again, Sony, of the 6 out of 10 game, Death Stranding. Chris, what is the final Metacritic going to be of that game?
9.6.
That's not how Metacritic works, Chris. They score in out of 100, so 96.
96. I don't go on Metacritic. So.
I do. I like Metacritic, so there you go.
All right, 96. Does that work?
Listen, I said no opinion. What I will say is, if this game, if any game for the rest of the year gets a 96 Metacritic, I will eat something on camera I don't like. I don't know. I didn't think that through. Adam, what would it get?
Pringles.
Let me make a hair pie. I will cut my hair off, put it in a pie.
God.
Absolutely fuck off. Adam, what
Just
score
one
will
massive
Metacritic
strand.
get? I don't trust the hairs you're putting in that pie.
I am going to pick... Hang on now, let me think. I'm going to go for a score of 74.
What did God of War get then? Do we know?
Oh, mate, I was just googling.
What?
I was googling the bestly rate. Bestly? That's a new word. The bestly rated games. 93 is Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, no, I'm sticking with 96. I think if
God of War,
certain people review it, it'll be getting 10s everywhere.
God of War is 65.
No.
I'm only joking. It's 94.
The highest PS4 game this year it's Nier Automata Game of the Year edition, Resident Evil 2, and Final Fantasy Shadowbringers is on 91. What's the highest Switch rated one, actually? I wonder if that's
probably
higher.
Breath of the Wild.
No, this year. These are of this year.
Breath of the Wild.
Adam, that's not how time works.
Breath of the Wild.
So what are you saying? What number? 89, by the way, Fire Emblem. What are you saying?
Is that the highest?
Yeah. What are you saying for...
I'm going to say 7. I think I said 74.
And what did Chris say?
96.
I mean, that's just ludicrous, but fine.
No, it's not.
I'm going to say 89.
All right.
I'm going to write this down. Sorry, hang on. Yeah. Adam
write
Cook,
that down.
89. Chris White, 96.
What's the highest rated game of all time?
Adam Carroll, 70. What was it? Hang on.
The highest rated game of all time
Adam,
is
what was your
Ocarina
score?
of Time.
And what's
I
that?
think. What's Ocarina of Time?
Highest.
I'm Googling it. You can hear me fiercely typing the best video games. Adam, what was your score? 70 what?
If I have to fucking tell you one more time.
I really
74.
would appreciate it. Thank you. I don't want to have to listen back to this.
I actually think I may have said a different number 3 times. I'm
I
actually
think
not
no,
sure.
Yeah, oh, wow. Ocarina of Time is the highest rated game of all time. 99 Metacritic. In fact, so you said what? Sorry, Chris? 96?
Yeah.
So...
So he's doubting it now.
No, I'm not.
So
done with that.
That puts it in league on these games that are at 96. Metal Gear Solid 2. So, it's a Kojima game. BioShock on PC. Gran Turismo, the original. Wind Waker. Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4, Chris. Half-Life, Chris. Skyrim. Mass Effect 2. Twilight Princess. Tekken 3. Batman Arkham City. Got a 96.
I think Tony Hawk 2 was here somewhere.
Tony Hawk 2 is second.
Hang on. The Orange Box, which is all of Valve's games, Chris. Uncharted 2, GoldenEye, 007, Breath of the Wild, GTA 5. And then we are, then we're into, how Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, though, is superb. So, but yeah, that's that. Thomas,
I'll tell you what, I'm sorry, I'm so confident that if I'm wrong, I will sing Snake Eater to the music and
Fine.
put it out.
We'll put that as the end of the podcast.
If you're
when
wrong
that Metacritic
with
is
96,
Yeah.
it's fine, Adam. It's fine.
you better get practicing, my friend.
I know it. I'm good. I'm confident. I'm telling you.
I'm gonna
I nailed that.
No, I'm gonna change mine to 87.
You can't change it.
All right, fine, 89. I don't fucking care.
Thank you.
Thomas at LlamaFluff42 says, You're put in charge of the internet for a week with a remit to end fanboy console wars. What would be your plan to heal the world, make it a better place? Good use of Jackson there when we're talking about healing. Adam, what would you do? What would your plan be to heal the world if you're in charge of the internet?
I don't really understand this.
So just sipping a glass of water there because this is going to be
I
good.
know. If I was in charge of the internet?
What would your plan be to stop fanboy console wars?
cancel Twitter.
Oh, I don't know. Fucking send him to fucking space.
How? With the internet?
I don't know. I'd build a fucking rocket over the internet.
Certainly extreme. Chris?
Yeah. I would cancel it.
What, the internet?
Oh
Yeah.
man, my rocket's way more exciting.
And I'd come up with a new way for people to interact.
It's a hell of a lot of work for a week, Chris. But you think that, Death Stranding's going to get a 96, so
I've become the internet. I can do whatever I want
for a week.
All that information
For a week.
Yeah, all right. I don't know what I'd do.
Okay, I would shut social media down, and in that week, I would see if I could find a way to make it so that after my week in charge, it couldn't come back. Like if I could sort of pass some sort of law to just shut social media. And this is not joking. For a moment, I am going to be deadly serious. I think social media is going to be the fall of society. I really do. And that's not to say that there's not good stuff out there. But all the drama, all the crazy shit you see that you like that, if you took social media out of the equation, you wouldn't see it or hear it. It wouldn't be happening. We're talking about people who go online and have a go about a certain political party at the same time as spreading what they're doing because they're commenting on it. I'm not going to put us in a moment in time, but there's a certain thing that a party in the UK is doing on this day that we're recording that I wouldn't know about if other people hadn't commented on the tweet saying how stupid it was. I wouldn't know it was happening because I'm not associated with or affiliated with that party and I don't like them at all. But if it weren't for the internet or the social media, people tweeting it saying how stupid this is, I wouldn't see it. You're doing their marketing for them. When you block someone like Katie Hopkins or someone, you don't see her anymore. But if you take a picture of her tweet and then tweet it out, you're spreading their message. So shut social media down for that week and hope that a week's long enough for people to go, God, I'm a lot happier, aren't I? That feels like it would sound better if Adam Carroll said it. Could you say that last bit for me? Oh God, I'm a lot happier.
Man, I look. To be honest, you're right. I think I'll cancel my rocket.
Good. Well, if you're in charge of the internet for a week and I'm in charge of the internet for a week, if we can get Chris and Thomas on board, there's 4 of us, so we can get a month of no social media if you're all on board with my plan. So he also wants to know, if you didn't review games for a site and for the podcast, what would you be playing? Would you just play the same thing all the time?
Yeah.
You would?
I think I'd just play FIFA for the rest of my life. Or
Really?
some game. Yeah. Well, no. I wouldn't be like, that's the only game I play. But if I didn't have anything to focus on, I would just play the same thing over and over again. That's how my mind works. I need a focus. I can't at the minute I can't seem to pick up a game just because I want to play it. I need focus in my life. So it'd probably be a case of just playing one.
I most evenings sit down and play a couple of Super Mario Maker 2 levels. I said it. I probably said it in the review. I've probably said it on the podcast. But that's Infinite Mario, and I love it. I love just picking it up and playing for 20 minutes. And I've played like 10 new Mario levels, and they're varying quality. Some are terrible, but generally speaking, still new Mario. It's still a new experience in a game I love. I would, like Chris, also play a lot of FIFA and PES. But I would still play most of the games I talk about. I mightn't play Daemon X Machina, but I definitely would play Gears of War. Definitely. I love the big single-player games. I would play Link's Awakening. I would still buy and play that. I perhaps wouldn't be able to afford as many of them, but I still would play the big games because I love big single-player games. I love them. I'll be covering like Overwatch when we get Switch code, but I love multiplayer too, but I love big single-player games. I love the Uncharted. I love the Gears. I'd still play them, I think. I just wouldn't play a lot. I wonder if I'd play as many indie games. Like, I'm looking at Knights and Bikes, and I'd like to play that, but time's not my friend.
Oh.
Adam?
I wouldn't play the same game if I could have, like, an ability to pause video games, because look, I just have that thing where look, we fucking know we all love games here and everyone listening loves fucking games, but like I have to play nearly anything and everything. Like I'm just like, give me every single game and insert it into my eyeballs. Like
I kind of am like that. I think I kind of can't wait for that next big game.
I'm always like that. But then,
absolutely, it's exciting.
It is, but the thing is, I just want to go. Can I pause you there for a second so I don't have a backlog building constantly?
Yeah.
And I can then go back and just revisit games that I love.
If you could eliminate all work and have only one game come out a week, I'd be happy.
Yes.
Yeah. But even though just I don't know, time just seems to just have it just moves so much faster now. I
mean, it is September. Just let that sink in.
There is, I think, for the last year, I've been saying, I must go back and play through Alien Isolation again. But
you're never gonna.
Well, when it comes to Switch, perfect for Switch.
I forgot that was happening. You don't know that bit. I hope it looks good.
I'd say it'll be very, very fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it will. Couple of other questions from Thomas. This one, Adam, I don't know if you'll have an answer for this because you've been with the site the least amount of time here, but what's your proudest moment on God is a Geek so far? These last few weeks should definitely be there, smashing it, folks. I really appreciate that, Thomas. I will just say, on behalf of myself and all of our team, I really appreciate it. I really genuinely feel the last couple of weeks, maybe the last couple of months even, we have stood toe-to-toe with the biggest names in the industry, and I'm so proud. And I know we're capable of that, and that's why the hope is that the more people hear and see and read and just consume our stuff will realise that we are good enough to back on like the Patreon or to subscribe to on youtube.com/GodIsAGeek or listen to on Spotify. You know, all those things, whatever your poison, the more people listen, the more people consume their chosen version of God is a Geek, ultimately that attracts attention from elsewhere and helps us. I'm very proud of our team. I'm always very proud of our team. But I'll give my moment after you guys. You know, you guys go first because I need to think. 'Cause it's 10 years now. So,
mine very, very quickly is actually the ability of like going forward and doing a podcast. Like, I know that sounds like generic, but the thing is, I've been doing podcasts for a while before this, but not like God is a Geek has been the longest, definitely. Like I did a music one, I did a food one with you, Adam, for laughs and stuff. That. But this is definitely the most serious one I've ever been a part of. And with that, as time has progressed, I've actually got to meet, interact with people online and stuff, and like people I would genuinely be like, "Fuck it," I practically know you as if I went for pints with you and stuff.
Yeah,
and like that for me is I'm proud of that. I'm proud of like being able to just come on and just chat games, like, and have people listen to it and actually take on the Pringles sandwich and make it serious. Do you know?
Absolutely.
But it's just those little touches. Like it's like we don't do it for like much. We do it for pure and utter like just passion and stuff. And I think like people obviously listen and enjoy it, and that's something to be proud of.
Chris?
I think probably the first time I saw, like when I was in a shop and I saw one of my, I call it a quote. It was like 3 words, but it was on something and it said the God is a Geek name, and that was just, that's good. And like on the, like when we're on the telly, and any of us are on the telly with a quote, like it just shows that how much we mean to not people, but like people that send us these codes. Like we are a small site, but people take note because of the content we put out and the work that goes into the reviews, you know. And probably the most defining moment was when my 2 worlds kind of collided when I was at the cinema and one of the adverts was played with one of our quotes on, which was just surreal. So yeah, anytime we're recognised, it makes me proud to be part of the site.
I've got a few, and I'm a little bit conscious that we're being a little bit. We're talking about ourselves, aren't we? But the question was asked, and I think if I don't answer honestly, then it's pointless. You know, this is Thomas as a listener has been listening for a while now, and it would be dishonest if I don't answer him. So the first one I can think of is very similar to Chris's. I was watching a Champions League match for the football, and there was a Call of Duty advert, and our name was on that. Now, not because it was Champions League, not because it was Call of Duty, but Champions League adverts are kind of like the premium slot. Like, there are millions of people watching that match. You know, I'm not a fan of either team playing, but I'm a fan of football, so I'm watching the big match. You know, like, it would have been about 8:45 at night because it was half time. So literally the prime advertising real estate. And then our site, and I don't want to say our little site. I know Chris said we're a small site. We're not as small as people think, but we, in comparison to, you know, IGN, GameSpot, we are a small site. Seeing that and have people text me like, I've just seen. People say your site's not my site, but people say that because, well, this is the way of talking, isn't it? People tweet that at me. People sent me text messages, and I had all these text messages come through. I've just seen God. I went into work the next day, and I've never spoken about my work on this podcast. I'm not going to start now, but I went into work the next day, and someone said, "I saw your site, not my site. I saw your site on the football," and it's like, that is ridiculous. Not just because they saw it, because it's Call of Duty, and if you've been in games long enough or into games long enough, you know that even though it may not be what it once was in terms of the draw, Call of Duty at that time was the biggest game. It's that and FIFA. There's none bigger at that point. So that was like a bit surreal and a bit weird. And similarly, the first time I saw our name on, I was watching some kids' TV, Nickelodeon, I think it was, probably SpongeBob, and there was an advert for Nintendo. They put a lot of adverts in it, and again, God is a Geek appeared. Can't remember the game, can't remember what it was advertising, but remember seeing that and thinking, that's Nintendo, man. That's Nintendo.
Yeah.
Because if you're old enough, again, there's a reverence for those old boys, so to speak. PlayStation, you know, like I've another very quick one. First ever box quote was not mine. Dan Murphy, no longer with us. He's not dead. He's just not on the site anymore. Hopefully he's successful doing football writing, I think, on the Manchester Evening News website. And he had his quote on, I think it was the Ollie Ollie box case, Ollie 2. So I bought a copy of that.
It was.
And I've got that copy, and that's in my office. And that is like, that sort of thing legitimizes you in a way that you already feel like you're doing the right thing, but it legitimizes you in an industry that sometimes feels like it doesn't want us. Personally speaking, that is not for the site. Sometimes it feels that way. So seeing that is like, that's, you know, you grew up seeing like cassette tapes of Spectrum games with, you know, best game of the year, whatever magazine it was, you know, that's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Another little one was, this is going back some, there was, when Colin Mahern was with us, he and I damn near killed ourselves trying to make the video a success. We probably got more success now than we've ever had with video, and really appreciate people watching. But we were going for a different thing back then, and there was absolutely one of the most ridiculous characters that Colin and I would do. And I think I was Alan Sheff, and he was Colin A. Hearn. We came up with each other's names, and we were just commentating. But there was a section of it was a Rocket League thing, and there was a section of us both on screen wearing suits, and he was like this overly aggressive American style broadcaster, and he said like, it's a good game, and no, he said it was a great game, Eric. There's Eric, or was Eric someone, Eric something. He said it's a great game, Eric, and I went, it was a good game, Colin, and he said it was a great game. And Colin told me that outside a bar, like a loading bar or something in London, he came outside and he was like, oh, hey Colin, I know you. I think he was at Video Gamer at that point already, and someone said to him, and they actually quoted him, and they said, oh, I love that it's a great game stuff. So wow, yeah, people watch us, like, you know what I mean? And that was another one. The other one, and the one I will end the podcast on, as much as we have a laugh on it, it's quite a sincere one, is that when people say to you things like, your podcast means a lot to me, it helps me through the week. Because I have podcasts that help me through my working week. They're not generally gaming ones, they're ones that make me laugh. Hearing that you are that to someone else is moving in a way I'm not going to get into here, because I don't want to ruin the end of a fun podcast I think we've had. But hearing people and seeing the stats go up every week, that more people are downloading the podcast and listening wherever they choose to listen. That's why I sort of say that at the end, is that it never stops feeling cool. Because I don't think anyone on this site puts on airs and graces. I think people on God is a Geek just are who they are. And I think the reason this site works is because whenever a new body comes into the site, they're people we like, that we get on with, that we trust, and that share our ethos, which is why like Adam Carroll was the natural pick when I wanted someone else on the podcast with us. I wanted Adam Carroll. We get on. We both got the same name. You know, it was an easy pick, and no one here is being fake. And the fact people want to listen to us week in, week out, being us, and it helps anyone, that's pretty cool. That's kind of it. I don't know if I've talked long enough. If you guys have got anything else that you can think of, because I think we've been self-indulgent enough, probably there. Like it. Just I love what we do, and I really hope more people share us and feel the same. And you know what? And I love it when people say things like, "Oh, when's your Game of the Year podcast? I'm looking forward to that." People are actually, because that takes so much work. Like I'm not being funny. The job I do that time of year is a nightmare, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of hours just recording, then the editing, then the scheduling, and then it's a lot of work. But so to hear people are like, "I'm really looking forward to that," like that is like, "Oh, that's a good feeling." And the other little one, just to finally end on, is when someone says, "Oh, I've been waiting for your review. Now I'm going to buy it," because that's a responsibility, and it's a responsibility I always make sure. I don't want to say my staff because that sounds very official, but I think it's a responsibility. It's important to never forget that when someone sends you a code that costs you nothing and you review it, someone who reads that review has to spend hard-earned money. And going back to if we didn't review games for Sight in a Pod, there's no way I'd be able to keep up with the onslaught of games. No way. And that's why it's really important that you just, that when people say, "I'm waiting for your review,"
Yeah.
But that's a podcast for a week, a little bit longer this week. I apologise if anyone thinks, "Oh, self-indulgent fuckers," but we were asked. We're not going to do that every week, but we were asked. I think
I agree.
I think we gave a good answer. Adam, Chris, thank you ever so much for your time, as always, lads.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And patreon.com/GodIsAGeek if you think what we said is worth going to check out. You get early access. We give away codes on there. I should remind people, even if it's only for 1 month, if you pay $30 for 1 month of Patreon, you get the God is a Geek Ketchup t-shirt. You can drop back down to $1 then. I don't expect, that you're basically paying for the t-shirt. So that is a way of getting the God is a Geek Ketchup t-shirt. We've just had someone sign up for that. That's really exciting. They'll get the t-shirt. And if they want to drop down to $1 after they got the t-shirt, that's fine because they paid the $30 the t-shirt. Done. I say dollars, it doesn't work out. It's pounds. It's £1 a month. Just get this podcast very early. You get everything else early. We give you videos early, and we talk to people in our Discord, and we give them a behind the scenes. Here's what we're reviewing. Here's when to expect this. But yeah, patreon.com/GodIsAGeek and youtube.com/GodIsAGeek. Just Google it. You'll find everything. Thank you very much for listening, and we will speak to you next week or whenever you choose to listen.